Yo, get the speaker box loud, hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound. Hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound.
What's up, guys? Just got done with wrestling practice. Fight's coming up, and I'm ready to go. Body feels good, mind feels good. We did a Q&A on my Instagram a few days ago, and I'm going to answer those questions. So, first one from Chef Too Good 915. When did you have your first fight? So I was wrestling in college, and my coaches brought some UFC fighters in, and I was like, these are normal guys, and I loved watching fighting. I was a huge fan of MMA for many years, and I was like, I want to try this. So my coaches were like, get your grades up and we'll get you a fight over the summer in between the wrestling seasons. And they got me one. My first one was August of 2008. That was my only fight that summer. And then the next summer, in between the seasons, I had 3 fights. From Nico SCA5, who is the toughest opponent you have ever faced? I think Khabib was probably the one who I felt, even if I performed better, I'm not sure that I could have beat him on that night specifically. So that night that I fought Khabib, I would say that he was my toughest opponent to date. Hardest you've ever been hit, I would have to say the one that put me to sleep, from Max Holloway. It wasn't the hardest I've been hit. It was the one time I got hit really hard that I wasn't expecting to get hit. And that's what puts you to sleep. My favorite band, Bob Marley and the Wailers. Where does the violence come from? I don't know if it's violence. I think it's the competitive nature in me. You know, it came from my parents. My mom's insane when it comes to competition. Same with my dad and my whole family. And so I just, really, this is, it was wrestling when I was growing up, and now it's fighting, and fighting is violent, and I like to perform. And, the quickest way off a wrestling mat was to pin somebody, and now it's to knock somebody out. It's a little bit more violent, but it's the fastest way to victory. My cousin, Josh Espinosa, says, why are you so ass in golf? If I'm ass, I'm not sure what the definition of his skills would be for himself, because he's never beat me and never will. Ever. Never. What's one of your favorite college? He has kids. I got no kids, no life. I can golf every day. For my other cousin, what's one of your favorite college stories? So I lived with a bunch of wrestlers, so the house was always disgusting. But anyways, one day I went and I placed at a big national, not a national tournament, but a big tournament in Las Vegas. Took 4th place. And when I came home, my roommates had spray painted in bright red paint, 4th place on my wall in my room. I was going to kill him. But that's what got me into nationals that year, and eventually got me my All-American status, because I would not have qualified for the national tournament that year, because I didn't place high enough at regionals, and that 4th place got me a coach's bid into the tournament. What's your purpose for fighting, and what's the passion? I mean, again, it's just being a competitor, the purpose for fighting. I mean, I wanted to be a professional athlete growing up. I thought I was going to be a NFL quarterback, but it turns out the genetics are a huge factor. And with my dense bones, I'm very athletic, but, the size is not in my favor when it comes to playing football. That sport is more dangerous than what I do. Maybe not more violent, but more dangerous. My purpose is now, to compete, to show off, to inspire people. I didn't know that my journey would be as inspirational as it was when I started, because it's been, one day at a time. But now seeing that I can touch and reach across, the earth and inspire people that don't even speak the same language as me, but my actions inspire them to be better or do better. So definitely a huge purpose. And that's ultimately my passion with this sport. Let's see. What's your favorite recovery food? From Rhonda Nielsen. From Black Desert. I don't know. My favorite recovery food. I mean, I think steak, but honestly, sushi. I can, there's never a meal I won't pick sushi. So yeah, I think after any hard workout, some good carbs, some good fat, really good fat from this fish, and trying to give your body the proper nutrition to recover in this short amount of time, because I train twice a day. But my favorite food would not be good enough for a professional athlete. So I can't eat it right now, but chicken fried steak all day. How do you get rid of the fear of fighting? I don't think you get rid of the fear of fighting. I think you accept the fear. So the fear releases all kinds of chemicals, and then going into being in a life or death situation in front of 20,000 people, your body does special things, and it's not scary. You just have to get yourself there. So really it's you believing in yourself, believing in your abilities, believing that you are worthy of something, and then going in there and putting it on the line. The fear is the most fun part for me. Without the fear, I mean, well, just be an office job, which is nice, stable. The highlight of my career, probably Michael Johnson, coming into the UFC and really having a performance like that and really setting the tone for how my career was going to go. I think that was a big part of my career. And then I think outside of that was the James Vick knockout, coming off 2 losses, not knowing if I was worthy or not having issues believing that I was or belonged. And then, working as hard as I can and going out there and competing and finding success, and then understanding that, this is just a crazy ass game that we play, and you have to be ready, and that's all you can do. Russell DiMaio says, what's your favorite meal? Chicken fried steak, hash browns, ketchup, and Tabasco. All day. A couple over easy eggs to mix up with the hash browns. How do you deal with nerves and pressure before a fight? I just answered that. This comes from Ethan Rathke. At the end of the day, you don't have a choice. Right now, my day is March 8th. The anticipation is what kills people. When you think of fighting, you think that it's not scary, because any kind of street fight or any kind of altercation that's spur of the moment, there's no anticipation. And so ultimately, there's no way to compare a street fight to what we do. The anticipation is what it will drive you crazy. It's what's going to keep you up at night and wake you up early in the morning. But that pressure is what makes you show up to practice and show up to practice, work as hard as you can, and live a 24/7 professional athlete lifestyle, which is boring, but you have to do it. And that is how you deal with the pressure, by being ready. What would you do? What would be your best advice to someone with dreams of becoming an MMA fighter? Well, this was my plan B. Plan A was I went to college, I wrestled in college, went to, studied human services, was gonna do some kind of social work, and then I, wrestled through college. I've been wrestling since I was 4 years old, played all sports, and ultimately I was athletic and I love to compete. So if you're athletic, you love to compete, you have to be coachable. That's one thing that I pride myself in, and I surround myself with coaches that I trust, and then I let them really influence thoughts, emotions, and actions, and then trust that. But if you're athletic and coachable and hungry and competitive, you better be competitive. You better like to win. You better want to win. And I would say you need to play all sports, specifically to kids that are probably 10, 11, 12, 13, you need to wrestle, you need to play football, you need to play baseball. Throwing a ball is the same mechanics as throwing a punch. That's why I throw such hard punches, because I was a pitcher. I was a quarterback. I was the punter. I was the kicker. That's why I can kick hard. It's the mechanics of your body and understanding how you can move and how you move and then being coachable. And then, I don't know. I mean, I guess my best advice would be, they say it's 1 in a million, which is crazy odds, but you can be one, because there is one. So you better believe it. What is my biggest inspiration? I think representing, first it starts with your family, then your town. Then I came to Colorado, now I'm representing Denver. And then on the world stage, I get to represent, the United States of America. And for me, that's inspirational for me. That's why I fight. And then just as important for me is that inspires me to inspire people. Whether I'm American, whatever, it doesn't matter. When I step in there, people recognize effort. It's not a language, it's action. And I'm planning to hopefully inspire people to just be a better person, be a better athlete, be a better worker, be a better employee, be a better dad, mom, husband. It starts with holding yourself accountable. Define your style in one word. It used to be kamikaze. Now it's probably still kamikaze. Have dinner with one human, dead or alive. I'm so bad at these questions. There's too many options. Jesus? I would have dinner with Jesus. What has been your hardest fight mentally? I think the Max fight was a very difficult fight mentally for me, because he's a 145 pounder. I had never, ever pictured or dreamt or thought that I would ever fight him. And then when it came along, it was really a mental challenge to get myself there. And that was a tough one. Also, the Oliveira fight was a tough one. Wrecked my bike 18 days before. Sometimes shit happens and you just gotta fucking go. You just gotta fight through it. Why did you decide to do MMA? I think MMA decided to do me. Again, I had dreams of being playing in the NFL, and then I was like, I'm gonna go to college, get a degree, not work in the mine, be a social worker, human service. I'm not exactly sure what I was. Obviously, I wanted to work with at-risk youth. Every program that I designed and built and was part of had to do with the youth. And, I think that came from having such amazing parents. I know what that influence can be and do for a person. And that's what it did for me. And so my goal was to do that for others. And I think I am now, just not as direct. Dream fight, past or present? Dream fight, past or present? Maybe Matt Hughes when he was a champ, if I wasn't a kid. What is your favorite fight of yours? From Garrett, G1 Garrett. My favorite fight. Which one did I have the most fun in? Chandler was fun. Madison Square Garden, performing with two of my teammates that night. That was a fun one. And I got to beat him up, so that was nice. What is your favorite cheat meal? Sugar or chicken breast steak? Hi, I'm 22 years old and I want to start MMA or Muay Thai. Any tips on how to get over fear? I'm a bit scared. Well, if you're 22 and you're going to start MMA and Muay Thai, the only way to not be scared is to truly believe that your body is capable of doing what it needs to do, cardiovascular wise, strength wise. And so, yeah, it's a lot of work. 22 years old. I mean, it's not impossible. Again, this sport is so crazy. There's too many examples of people that were professional athletes their whole life, people that were drug addicts, this sport is unique. It's young, and so we don't exactly know how to get there, but to get over the fear, it has to be believing in yourself, and that has to be through hard work. And you have to break yourself down. At 22, you got to do it every day for 5 years. Break yourself down mentally, physically, and have a team around you that inspires you to believe in yourself and your skills and your abilities, and then roll the dice. Who's your dream opponent? I want to fight Makhachev. He's the champ, and I do believe that is a better matchup for me than Khabib. But he's good. What's it like getting in a UFC cage for the first time? This one's from Andy Day. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, at that point, I'd had 18 fights, 17 fights maybe. And my goal was to make it and be the best in the world. And that was the beginning of that journey. And every fight is crazy. My first amateur fight was fucking nuts, like when it comes to your emotions. But yeah, it was a little, there's 20,000 people there. The lights are brighter. The atmosphere is louder. It's more intense. And so you just have to really, again, trust in your ability to perform. I say worthy, like how do you believe that you're worthy of something? And when you know that hard work gets you somewhere, then working hard is the only thing that can make you worthy. So you have to work crazy hard every single day. You gotta do your homework. You gotta run 20 minutes on a treadmill, sit in the sauna for fun. What's it like? All right. Elkin MHD, which was your favorite fight? I think it's Michael Johnson or James Vick. That was the first. Michael Johnson and James Vick, the two first guys that really talked a lot of shit to me. And yeah, that was fun to beat. When you're a competitor and someone's against you like that, there's nothing better than whooping their ass, making them quit or knocking them out. Toughest challenge coming back from a loss. It's been what I've been talking about this whole time is, it's never, this is my first time getting knocked out. Not even from a loss. From getting knocked out is going to be crazy. I'm actually kind of excited. I think it's going to make, I've done it 30 fights, 37 fights. I've done it 37 times. Every time is different, but the more experience you have with something, the more comfortable you can become. And this is just a sport that you can never be comfortable. And so this is, getting knocked out is a very good reminder of that. And yeah, I think it's gonna be scary, like my first fight ever. I'm excited for the adrenaline. I'm excited for the nerves. I think that I performed the best under pressure and can't lose this fight. So can't wait. Top 5 favorite athletes in any sport, UFC or other. Wow. How many options are there? How do I pick out a million options? Millions. Top 5 favorite athletes in any sport. UFC or other. When I fell in love with MMA, it was from a feeling that I would get when certain people would perform, and those people were Chuck Liddell, Anderson Silva. Definitely those two. And then outside of that, again, I'm so bad at these kind of questions. I mean, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. I love fire in people's eyes. People that love to compete, those level of athletes. Tom Brady was quite the G. When it comes to winning, I like winners. And all of those dudes are some winners. Favorite knockout, James Vick. What would your dream job be if you were not a fighter? My dream job? Well, if I had the capacity, then I would say some kind of like engineer or doctor. Yeah, I think, again, I went to school for human services. Would that be my dream job? Probably not, because I don't know. It sucks to say. I mean, those people are special. They don't get paid what they should. And it's hard. You got to take a lot of problems home with you. I think that's going to be a huge challenge when it comes to that job. But I think I would choose a more prestigious career, such as an engineer building skyscrapers or, giving ideas for something like that, bridges, or some kind of health practitioner where you just help people. Who's my favorite fighter to watch presently? I think Pereira. Pereira's pretty fucking consistent. And again, that guy, he gets knocked out, Adesanya comes back. It's a great, some inspiration for me to see someone, really come through that and come out on top. So, yeah. Favorite movie of all time from Trey Herndon. I have to say Fight Club. I think it's a great movie. I had to pick a movie in college that depicted a mental illness, and that was the movie I picked. I'd watched it many times before, but I'd never seen it from that light. And now seeing the genius behind the movie and how good the plot is now, being older and understanding more it's a very good movie. And that's it. That's it. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for sending your questions. I hope that one answer works, because I talk a lot and I think a lot. And the more I talk, the more confusing it gets. I know, I'm sorry. But we're getting close, 6 weeks or so. Can't wait to perform. Best live show on earth, March 8th. Do not miss it.